Okay, so I got them all cleaned up. So these are the ones that were installed. They definitely are a piece of quality engineering here. Look at it. It's all aluminum. This is all steel. It's very thick though. Yeah, it's a good deal thicker, and which is probably why I was having problems with this. Cause see this, I had a center stand installed before, and it was hitting the link. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't have a center stand on this bike right now, because it's too damn low. So yeah, there it is. So as you can see there, it's not really that much longer. I'll get something to measure it in a bit, but they are quite thick. So these are quality engineering R&D dog bones. Alright, so these are the these are the instructions for this quality engine R&D dog bones. So in this picture they have these spacers. They call them hardened spacers. There should be 6 of them, but in this picture there's no spacers at all. So I don't think I have to install those spacers. I'm pretty sure those spacers came with these guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and not use them because I think these are a little different because they're thicker. Yeah, so you can see the back. The back is a little recessed. It's really, yeah. So this is the left side. The left side has a recessed section. This ones are flat. So this is the left side. The recess. They're pretty much, they're the same. Almost. They're nearly the same. Yeah. Like this is the same. It's like symmetrical. This one has a little recess for the bolts. So this is the left side. That's why they marked it with the L. Alright, so you can see here that these are nearly 7 inches long, and the stock ones are 6 inches long. So 6 versus 7. So it's a 1 inch. It's only 1 inch drop. And it's given me that much trouble already. Imagine if it was more, right? I'd imagine you can get it more to drop if you lowered the preload like all the way. Anyway, yeah, so let's go install them. Alright, so I got the bolts cleaned up. I just kind of got some napkins and I wiped the dirt and the grease off. So what you want to do, if you're not going to service the bearings, is at least take these the caps, the seals. There's actually a rubber seal here. You can see. Just wipe them clean, wipe all the grease and the dirt off of it, and then wipe around here and the face of the bearing, and just go ahead and like pack that with grease. Yeah, before you put it back in. That way it'll help keep dirt and water and all that crap out of there. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I've already cleaned these ones. These are the ones that go on the end here of the spacer, and then just go ahead and do both of them if you're not gonna do the bearings. And then I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna pack this little section here with grease. It looks really good for only 30,000 miles. I don't ride this thing off-road, so I don't ride it off-road much. It's seen some off-road, but yeah, it looks pretty good for a 30,000 mile bike. Alright, so I've gone ahead and cleaned everything. So the bolts are nice and clean, and seals are nice and clean, and I've went ahead and greased, packed some grease in there where it pivots, the spacers are. So don't worry about it being too messy. When you put the seals in, it's gonna squish the grease out. That means it's airtight, you know. And it's the grease that keeps the dirt out, you know. It helps keep a seal, you know, and it helps everything move. So you're gonna wanna grease the bolts up, which I've already done, and then go ahead and put the seals back in. So. gloves on. So yeah, so go ahead and try to keep everything as clean as possible, but stick the seals back in. Like I said, it'll probably push grease out all over the place. Any excess grease you can wipe off. You probably do want to wipe off because it's going to attract dirt. So there's the other one. Put it up here. Okay. And wipe the grease off. Already got stuff sticking to it. Alright. So this one has the bolt sticking out of it, the spacer sticking out of it already. See when you squeeze it, the grease comes out of it. It's a good sign. It's hard to keep all this stuff clean. Oh yeah, okay, so you want to make sure the seals are all touching the bolts. I mean the spacers on both sides. So it kind of popped out of the other side. So there you go. So they're all set right now. Yeah, don't worry about wiping the grease off quite yet. We'll put the bolts in first. So after you put the seals back in, go ahead and get your dog bones ready and put them in. So these are different length ones. So I'm probably gonna have to play around with the jack to get it in. So. But just remember, the recessed side is on this side, and then you just put the bolts in. The bolts come from the left side on the KLR. All right, sorry, I apologize for the lighting. It's very poor. I don't want to be touching the camera when I do this. This involves lots of grease and stuff. I don't want a greasy camera. Go ahead and put one of them in first. Maybe the higher one. Try not to push the spacer out while you're doing this. So it didn't match up, so we're gonna have to push it in all the way. Maybe you want to go ahead and put your other side in now. Okay, so once half is installed, so I'm gonna have to so you're gonna have to play with the height if you have a different length spacer or if you move the wheel at all. Too much. All right. So the problem I'm having is it's not low enough now. No, it's too low. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jack it up higher so I can get the jack under it at a lower position. ahead and take your second bolt. Try to put it in the hole if you lined it up properly. Side stands in the way. Just make sure you don't press the spacer out. There we go. Perfect. Boom. Alright, so I pushed it all the way. You want to get it so the little dog bone fit in there. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. What you want to do is kind of clean off the grease on this side a bit as best as you can. All the grease that came out, which is not a lot. So I must have taken it all in, yeah. Okay, so then go ahead and get your nuts and thread them onto the bolts. Okay, now it's just spinning. Spinning. Now this one's just spinning. Okay, now just go ahead and clean some of that grease off. Came off on the bolt. Looks like it took it all in, yeah? Okay. What you want to do now? Let's get that 17 you have. 17 here. Go ahead and tighten these, but don't tighten it too tight because you're going to torque it. According to the book specs, 72 foot-pounds. So get it like that. So go ahead and get your torque wrench out and then torque it. Let's see if I can do this without having to use a 17. No, don't think so. Okay. 72 is quite a lot of torque, and it's really hard to get to these bolts. Alright, so that's one side. Let's go ahead and do the other side. This one I'm getting lucky, it's not doing anything. Now it is. Okay, there you go. It's done. So that's what it looks like. It doesn't rub on that bolt there. It looks okay. I think that's what the stock ones look like. So yeah, so you saw how like you have to kind of play with the swing arm. So go ahead and wipe off any excess grease because that's going to attract dirt. And you're done. Hope this helped some people out. HadesOmega. So you'd want to do this if you were going to install a lowering link or a raising link to raise or lower the bike. In this case, I'm restoring it to its stock height, and or if you wanted to service the shock or the linkage. Like as in, like, you know, take the needle bearings out, clean them, and then grease them again. But after 30,000 miles, they still look okay. Right, so yeah, if you wanted to service the linkage bearings, then you would go ahead and do that. So there you go.